All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Too Easy Sports Betting. I'm Trice Too Easy, guys. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you've been here, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment on the video, and definitely don't forget to come join my Discord server. It's the #1 sports betting community there is. It'll be in the pinned comment and in the description of this video. Okay, so we're gonna review player props, then we're gonna review straights. We got one NFL game. We got the Lions versus the Packers. Should be a great game. Possibly, if Vegas works its magic. Otherwise, the Lions should blow them the fuck out, let's be honest. But we got the Lions versus Packers, and we got a few games for basketball, and I'm gonna get y'all out of here, okay? Let's just start getting right into it with the player props. And I'm uploading very late, guys. It's almost 5 p.m. Eastern time. Game starting in about 2 hours. I want to see how a couple really late videos perform versus how my early videos perform, and then I'm gonna go from there. But I'm gonna test one at like 5 o'clock-ish, and then I'm going to test one at like 7 a.m., and then I'm just going to go back to normal probably, but I just want to see the differences. This is stuff you got to do when you're building a business, trying to figure out how to get the best numbers. All right, anyways, get into the player props. Before I do that, here's the sponsor of the video, Bet Any Sports. Offshore sports books with lines that are better than your standard ESPN or FanDuel. Usually, if you got to use an offshore book, the lines suck. And if you're in a state where you can't sports bet, if you have to use a bookie and you can't bet parlays and player props, you ain't got to worry about that no more. You can now do player props, parlays. You can do any type of fucking shit you want. You can take Jordan Love to carry the ball 11 times if you would like. So you can do anything on here. It's just like having FanDuel or ESPN bet. All right, let's get it, and let's start with NFL. First player prop I'm on, Jahmyr Gibbs, guys. I mean, at this point, if his line is 65-ish or more, you should pretty much 65 or lower, I should say, you should pretty much just auto play it without even doing any research. These numbers are insane. I mean, it's ridiculous. Now, head to head, he has missed this. Green Bay has actually shut Jahmyr Gibbs down in the past, okay? They actually don't do well versus David Montgomery. David Montgomery has big games every time he sees Green Bay. For whatever reason, David Montgomery destroys Green Bay. If you look here, his line's at 57.5, but head to head, he just always does very well when he sees the Packers. It's just his thing. But that said, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions right now are unstoppable running the ball. That doesn't matter too much to me. Last time he had 65. It is a bit of a sharp spot. But I mean, I'm not worried about it. The way they've been running and moving the ball, I don't think you have to worry about getting hooked by this 0.5. I'm pretty sure he gets at least 70 tonight. And especially with the way the Lions have been passing the ball. So I like Jahmyr Gibbs over 65.5. But if you want to knock it down some, if you can, take it at 64 and avoid that 0.5. Be my guess. Next, David Montgomery, like I said, over 57.5. Versus these Packers, he just always performs. They can't stop David Montgomery. I wouldn't be surprised if David Montgomery goes for 90, 100 tonight, the way the Lions have been running, and I am dead serious. He's unstoppable. Jahmyr Gibbs is good. He's explosive. He's quick, but McDavid just can't be stopped, and he performs well versus the Packers. And lastly, I'm on Josh Jacobs receiving yards. Look, it's been shaky. He's got a 50-50 hit rate on it. Head-to-head, he's got a 50-50 hit rate as well. That said, these last 3 games, 58, then none, and 74, they're getting him involved in the pass. They are trying to stress that he gets involved in the pass game and like in these little play action plays or these dropbacks. Love likes to check it down to Josh Jacobs. So I'm very confident that Josh Jacobs can get 20 yards, especially since the Lions pass defense is not the greatest. They do okay versus receivers, but usually it's a lot of yards after catch versus the Lions. And I think Josh Jacobs catches a few and just takes off down the field. So I love those 3 props. Let's actually get into it and talk about the game. And here is that. Let me actually get it pulled up so you guys can see it. One moment. Sorry about that. I need to do better. Okay, so I'm on Lions versus Packers. I'm going to be on the Lions minus 3.5, guys. I already locked it earlier. It might have moved to a 3, which means it's moving in the wrong direction. No, it's not. It's still at minus 104, minus 102. I'm on the Lions minus 3.5, guys. The Lions are 11-1, I think, guys. They're the best team in football. I don't think there's anyone close to them. Some might argue the Chiefs, might argue the Steelers. Fine. The Packers are not on their level. There's levels to this shit. You got like the Chiefs, the Steelers, the Lions, Then below them, you have like, who would I say? I would say the Packers, the Eagles. The Eagles might be really good. Maybe like Vikings, Dolphins, Buffalo, maybe the Rams. I don't know. You guys, football's so damn opinionated. My point is, I don't think they're top tier. The Lions are top tier. Last time they saw each other, the Lions busted their ass. And the last time they saw each other, guys, the Lions ran all over them. Wasn't even so much crazy passing. They just couldn't stop the run. The Lions got so much push on that O-line versus these Packers. And we've seen it time and time again. If you can't stop Sonic and Hedgehog, if you can't stop Jameer and David, it's a wrap. You're going to lose the game. And I don't know any way that they can stop them. We saw it last time they played. They just destroyed them on the ground, wore them down, got them tired. Wasn't a lot of passing yards, and it was low scoring last time. I don't see why this game would be any different than the last time that they played. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. I think the Packers bust their ass. I'm sorry. I think the Lions bust their ass, guys. 11-1 on the year versus a 9-3 team. The Packers are an excellent football team. They are good. But in my opinion, they're not fucking with these Lions. Last time they played 24-14. Packers couldn't do much of anything. Love's in this time. I get it. But the Lions are just, man, they're just too good, I think. And again, they cannot stop the run. So give me the Lions as an easy choice here. The simplest way I can put it is Packers cannot stop the run. The Lions will be able to run, pass at will. They cannot stop the Lions offense. Now, do I think the Lions can stop the Packers? Not all the time, but I think they can get some turnovers. I think they can get some third down stops. I think they can force punts a lot more. I literally think the Packers can never stop the Lions. That's why I'm on the Lions minus 3.5. They're just a better team. So my final plays for football, what I actually played are right here. So I'm on this right here, guys. I'm on Lions minus 3.5. Jamar Gibbs over 65.5 rushing. David Montgomery over 57.5 rushing. Josh Jacobs over 18.5 receiving. Then I played this parlay. Jahmyr Gibbs 60 rushing yards. Josh Jacobs 60 rushing yards. And David Montgomery for 40 rushing yards. Josh Jacobs, last time he faced the Lions, even though the Lions have one of the best rushing defenses in the league, he went crazy. Josh Jacobs always runs well versus the Lions. Just like David Montgomery. I didn't mention this earlier. As good as David Montgomery does, Josh Jacobs does good as well, too. So expect a lot of running and not low scoring, not a lot of passing, guys. Don't be surprised if your parlays get cooked by receivers not getting a lot of yards and quarterbacks not covering their lines. I don't see it tonight. Just being honest with you. I see a big, heavy rushing game that's slow paced and that's just it. Okay, let's get into basketball real quick. Then I gotta go. My boy has a Christmas show for school. This shit is so fucking gay. All right, anyways, let's do it. Player props for basketball. Here we go. First one I'm on, Michael Porter Jr. over 14.5 points. You guys know I've been dropping them and parlaying them, so this is where I'm at with him on his line tonight is 14.5. 84% hit rate. He's only missed this 3 times this year. So yeah, I'm going to be on Michael Porter Jr. with his points. Brandon Ingram over 3.5 assists. Again, 81% hit rate. I love it. Cat, continue to board. 10 boards. They keep giving us 10 boards minus 300. I keep parlaying it. This is the one that keeps on hitting. 10 boards for him. He's hit it every game but 2. Joker, 10 boards. Hit it every game but 3. I love this spot for him tonight anyway, so give me his boards. Jordan Poole over 14.5 points. Everything points to him having a big game tonight, guys. And so because of that, I'm going to trust it, and I'm just going to go for Jordan Poole to just absolutely pop off tonight and maybe do what the hell he's supposed to do. We will see a lot of injuries in this game as well. Next, Brandon Miller. Guys, LaMelo Ball is out again. Left calf soreness. He is out. You know what that means. Brandon Miller, big spot. He pops off every time LaMelo's out. We did bet him once, and he shot he shot 3 for fucking 27. That won't happen again, guys. That was an outlier, and that's just how luck was going at the time. Brandon Miller over 20 points is a no-brainer. Look at these last few games, too. I mean, my God, this is sickening. Woo! I mean, fuck. So yeah, with LaMelo being out, no brainer. And then Nikola Vucevic, my guy, he has been our most profitable player the entire year. Nikola Vucevic over 14.5 points. It's a no brainer. Let's get it. I love this play. And he's on one of my slips as well. Okay, guys. So let's review each game and then actually talk about what I actually ended up playing and how I parlayed them. So here's the slate review. Let's get into it. First one. We got the Mavs and we got the Wizards. Guys, it is a fade for me. And the only reason that I am fading this game, give me 1 second. I'll make sure I got my notes right here. Just a moment. Where we at? Sorry, guys. My shit's kind of all over the place here. The reason why I decided to fade this game is I think it's just too many points. I don't want to lay 14 points with anybody. I'm not going to lay it with the Mavs. I talk about this a lot. I hate laying. I will never tell people, hey man, go put your money on a fucking 15, 20 point spread. That's insane to me. I don't ever do that. It's crazy, and I won't suggest it to anybody. I care about you guys' money too much. That said, I also don't know if I trust the Wizards at plus 14.5 to cover either. So I don't trust either of them to cover the spread. So for me, it's a fade. Next one, guys, we got the Nuggets and we got the Cavs. So this one is, I would lean to the Cavs -4, 100%. I think it's a great play. Notice I have BO here. I'm going to start putting these next to games I think could be a blowout. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cavs beat them by 20. The reason I'm going to start marking these is because you don't want to be on props for games that are going to be fucking blowouts. You end up losing because the props, the players get pulled. They're not even taking them serious because they're blowing them the fuck out. It is very likely that the Cavs blow the Nuggets out tonight. So I'd play the Cavs -4, but don't be weary of the fact that the Cavs may blow them out. Next, Hornets and the Knicks. Fade because again, I think it's I'm not laying 14.5 points that with anybody, even my favorite team, the Knicks. And I do like the Hornets a lot, but I mean, LaMelo's out. I think the Knicks blow them the fuck out tonight. That said, 14.5 is too many points for me to lay, and be wary of a blowout for this. Again, if you're playing Knicks props, I am on a couple, but it's cat 10 boards. And I think I have Jalen Brunson getting 20 points on a slip. That if they blow them out, they still should get 10 boards and 20 points. But even then, be cautious because there is a high chance that these are blowouts. I'm going to start warning you guys about what games probably will be blowouts so you can adjust your parlays. Thunder and the Raptors. That game is a fave for me because, again, I just think it's too many points. I don't want to lay 9.5 with Oklahoma City Thunder. The Raptors have kind of been covering spreads. The Thunder have not looked as good as they have. And it's really going to come down to the center who's replacing Chet. What the fuck is his name? It's going to come down to whether or not he performs. It's Hartenstein. If he doesn't perform, I don't think they cover the spread. If he does perform, I think they do. And he's coming off a really shaky game. So I'm just going to sit back and watch. Suns and the Pelicans. Suns, what the fuck? Suns -2.5 and be wary of a blowout. I don't know what's going on with this. I'm assuming there's injuries and things causing this number. Guys, I would take the Suns bench versus the Pelicans right now. Suns -2.5 to me is just janky as shit. Be wary of a blowout here. I lean Suns -2.5. Bulls and the Spurs. For me, it's a fade. The two evenly matched teams. It's a complete pick 'em, and I don't know what side I like to be on. I think it could go either way 100%. If I had to pick, I'm leaning Bulls, but I would stay away from it. Kings and the Grizzlies is another one where if I had to pick, I'm going to lean to the Grizzlies, but I don't trust them that much. I don't trust them that much. It's a fade. Again, I think they're two very evenly matched teams. These two games are just so even. And then lastly, you have the Rockets and the Warriors. The Warriors are only +3.5, +4 because Steph Curry and Draymond Green are out. I'm fully aware of that, guys. I don't care at all. The Warriors have played without Steph Curry and Draymond this season anyways, and they were still doing just fine. I don't think they struggle, especially versus a team as bad as the Rockets. Even with Steph and Draymond out, I still think that they cover with 3.5. So that's where I would lean for that game. Okay, guys. What did I actually play with the new method? I played this. I'm on the Cavs +3.5, the Suns +2.5, got that at +100. Warriors +8.5, Kings +8.5, got that at +102. Michael Porter Jr. 15 points, Brandon Ingram 4 assists +128. Cat 10 boards, Joker 10 boards at -131. And then lastly, I took Jordan Poole, Brandon Miller, Jordan Poole at 15, Brandon Miller at 20, and Nikola Vucevic, my guy, all parlayed at +143. That's my plays for the days, guys. Let's get out of here. Let's get a bag. Let's have a night, and let's absolutely crack these folks.